Gold just hit $5,000 an ounce. Over the last 5 years, gold is up 170%. Silver, over 200%. Meanwhile, Bitcoin, up maybe 20%. Ethereum, about the same. Your uncle, who has been stacking gold bars in his basement, is looking pretty smart right now. So, is crypto dead? Did the digital gold thesis fail? Not so fast, because here's what nobody is showing you: the 10-year picture. And it tells a completely different story. Stick around. By Chapter 5, you will see why 5-year returns are lying to you. And by Chapter 8, I will show you the Canadian tax loophole that changes everything. Here is what we are covering today, and I promise to show you both sides. 1. The 5-year returns where gold and silver actually won. 2. The 10-year returns where crypto dominates. 3. Why the time frame you pick changes everything. 4. The 80% crashes that terrify most people and why they are actually the point. 5. The Canadian-only tax advantage Americans do not have. 6. Exactly how to hold crypto in your TFSA, RRSP, or FHSA. I am Jay, not a financial advisor, just a Canadian nerd who likes spreadsheets and tax loopholes. I do not own a gold bar. I do not have a crypto bag I am pumping. I just want to show you what the numbers actually say. Cool? Cool. Let us get into it. All right, let us start with the 5-year numbers. March 2021 to March 2026. Gold started around $18.50 an ounce, now over $5,000. That's about 170% return. Insane. Silver, even crazier, from about $26 to over $80 an ounce. That is over 200%. S&P 500, up about 46%. Solid, but not spectacular. Bitcoin. Here's where it gets awkward. In March 2021, Bitcoin was around $58,000. Today, around $70,000. That is maybe 20% over 5 years. Ethereum, similar story, 1,800 to about 2,200, around 20%. So over the last 5 years, gold and silver crushed crypto. It's not even close. Your uncle was right, at least over that specific window. But here's the thing about windows. Now, let us zoom out. Same assets, 10 years instead of 5. March 2016 to March 2026. Gold started around $1,200, now $5,000. That is roughly 320%. Genuinely impressive. Silver, about $15 to over $80, around 430%. Great run. S&P 500, about 2,000 to 5,700 with dividends, roughly 250%, the safe choice. Now here's where it gets wild. Ethereum, launched in 2015 at under $1. Today, it is around 2,200. That is over 200,000%. Let that sink in. 200,000. Bitcoin, in March 2016, around $400. Today, around 70,000. That is roughly 17,000%. Gold did 320. Bitcoin did 17,000. Ethereum did 200,000. It is not the same sport. It is not even the same planet. So why did gold win the 5-year race, and why does it matter? Here's the dirty secret about timeframes. Where you start measuring changes everything. In March 2021, Bitcoin was around $58,000. That was almost the all-time high. We were measuring from the top. It's like measuring a marathon runner while they're tying their shoe at mile 20. You could say, hey, they barely moved in the last 30 seconds, but that misses the whole race. If you want the real picture, you measure the whole race, not one random pit stop. Same Bitcoin, same price today, but the 5-year view says barely moved, the 10-year view says life-changing gains. Which story do you want to tell? This is why headlines can be misleading. Someone picks the window that tells the story they want. Short-term, crypto is a roller coaster. Long-term, historically, it has been a rocket ship. The question is, which ride are you on? But here's the thing that scares most people away, and honestly, they might be right to worry. Let us talk about the elephant in the room. Bitcoin has crashed 80%, multiple times. 2014, Bitcoin went from over $1,000 down to around 200, 85% gone. People said it was dead. Then it recovered. By 2017, it hit $20,000, new all-time highs. The people who held, life-changing money. 2018, same story. From 20,000 down to 3,000, 84% crash. Everyone said crypto is finished. Then it recovered. Again, by late 2021, it hit $69,000, new all-time highs. Again. 2022, you guessed it, 69,000 down to 16,000, 77%. Bitcoin is dead, they said, for the 400th time. And by late 2025, over $126,000, new all-time highs. Crash, recover, new highs. 3 times now. And here's the thing. Fidelity, one of the biggest asset managers on Earth, says the era of brutal 80% drawdowns might actually be ending. Why? Institutional adoption. When BlackRock and Fidelity are building Bitcoin products, when spot ETFs exist, the market gets more stable. Not risk-free, but different. But here's where it gets interesting for us specifically, because Canadians have an advantage that Americans do not. Okay, this is the part I have been waiting to tell you about. The Canadian advantage. In the US, if you hold crypto directly and sell it for a profit, you pay capital gains tax every single time. But in Canada, we have the TFSA, the tax-free savings account. And here is the beautiful part. Crypto ETFs are qualified investments. You can hold them in your TFSA, which means if your Bitcoin ETF goes from $10,000 to $100,000 inside your TFSA, that $90,000 gain, tax-free. The CRA does not get a penny. Americans cannot do this. They do not have a TFSA equivalent for this. Take the win, eh? Important note, you cannot hold actual Bitcoin directly in a TFSA. The CRA says no, but you can hold Bitcoin ETFs. Same exposure, different wrapper. And it is not just TFSA. Your RRSP works too, tax-deferred growth. And the new FHSA for first-time homebuyers, same deal. Fun fact, Canada was the first country in the world to approve a spot Bitcoin ETF, February 2021, Purpose Bitcoin ETF. While the US was still arguing about it, we were already investing. So which ETFs should you actually use? Let me show you the specific tickers. All right, let us settle the debate. Bitcoin or Ethereum, or both. Think of Bitcoin as digital gold. Its whole point is scarcity. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. That is it, no more printing. It is a store of value. Ethereum is different. Think of it as digital oil. It is infrastructure. It powers decentralized apps, smart contracts, DeFi, even NFTs. It does stuff. You do not compare gold to oil. They are different things. Same here. Bitcoin stores value. Ethereum builds things. Most people who hold both use something like a 70-30 or 80-20 split. Bitcoin for the base, Ethereum for the upside. The good news? Both have TFSA-eligible ETFs in Canada. You can hold both in your tax-free accounts. No need to pick just one. So let me give you the actual tickers you can buy right now. Bitcoin ETFs first. Here are your main options. BTCC, Purpose Bitcoin ETF. This is the OG, the original gangster. First spot Bitcoin ETF approved anywhere in the world. February 2021, Canadian innovation. FBTC, Fidelity Advantage Bitcoin ETF. Big name, low fees. Their management fee dropped to 0.32% in 2025. Fidelity backing gives some people peace of mind. BTCX, CI Galaxy Bitcoin ETF, 0.4% fee. Another solid option. All three track Bitcoin spot price. Now, Ethereum ETFs. ETHH, Purpose Ether ETF. Same folks behind BTCC. They were first movers on both Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. FETH, Fidelity Advantage Ether ETF. If you like Fidelity for Bitcoin, you can stick with them for Ethereum too. And if you want both in one ticker, BTCE, Purpose Bitcoin and Ether ETF. Roughly 50-50 split. One purchase, both assets. The lazy genius option. Quick summary, Bitcoin, BTCC, FBTC, BTCX. Ethereum, ETHH, FETH, both BTCE, all TFSA and RRSP eligible. But before you buy anything, we need to talk about risk. Look, I have shown you the upside. 17,000%, 200,000%, life-changing numbers. But I would be lying if I said there is no risk. Common mistakes. 1. Going all in, putting everything into crypto. 2. Panic selling during crashes. 3. Investing money you need for rent or emergencies. The golden rule? Only invest what you can afford to lose completely. If crypto went to zero tomorrow, would you be okay? If not, you are overexposed. So how much should you allocate? Conservative, maybe 5% of your portfolio. Moderate, 10 to 15%. Aggressive, 20 to 30%. There is no one right answer. It depends on you, your age, your risk tolerance, your time horizon. Those determine your number, not some random guy on YouTube. Quick recap. Gold won the 5-year race. Crypto crushed the 10-year race. Timeframes change the story. Crashes happen, but recoveries do too, and Canadians can do this tax-free. So here's my question for you. What percentage of your portfolio is in crypto right now? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're not sure which account is best for you, TFSA, RRSP, or FHSA, I made a whole video breaking down exactly when to use each one. Link is right here. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if this helped, and I'll see you in the next one.